My name is Yusuf Farouqi, and I'm a first-year engineering student at Ryerson. It's been seven years that I've lived in Canada. I came from Peshawar, but I'm actually from Afghanistan. But due to bad conditions and war trauma, my family had to move to Pakistan for safety, and that's how I got here. The English was a big struggle for me to go through high school, and even all the way up to grade 11 I was taking ESL classes, and after that I started to move into academic English, regular English. Grade 9 was a very hard year for me. It was actually the hardest year that I have been through in my high school career. Because I knew very little English, my math skills were very bad, very, very bad. My average was very low, like in this high 50s and low 60s, right? And I was studying 4 or 5 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours a day at grade 9 level. I don't even do that right now, right? But I was really, and my dad really encouraged me. He was really encouraging me, you know what, you can do it. My dad, when he was in first year engineering, he was in Kabul University, first year engineering when the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. So his dreams of becoming an engineer were destroyed. He was taken to jail, and like with most of the males, and like if they knew that you are capable of fighting, right? So they would take you and put you in prison. So my dad was one of them. He was a 17-year-old, 18-year-old boy. And in a lot of sense, it's better that I came here, because if I always reflect on the fact that if I was back home, if I was there, maybe I wouldn't have got the education that I got here. My grade 8 teacher, Miss Torre, she was an amazing person. She really she empowered me to actually go for it. And she at the end, when we finished grade 8, she's like, you know what, Yusuf, go for it, and one day you will end up at a good university. That's what she told me. And I took it, and I'm like, you know what, you're right, I can do it. So it was very hard in grade 9, as I explained, low 50s, but in grade 10, when I moved to Mark Garneau, my marks had improved to 70s, and then gradually 80s, and then I finished with an 86 average in high school in grade 12, my grade 12 classes. Finished with 86, got scholarships, my first year is almost covered, so I'm very proud. My dream is to go back and help my people out. That's my dream. This poem is called Come Home, and it's in the remembrance of my home and dreams. This was actually the very first poem that I started to write. This was basically when I was homesick back in grade 11. I think, no, back in grade 10. And then I started to write. This was my first one, so it starts out like this. I feel so guilty for what I've left behind. I feel so unfaithful for what I've left behind. At nights I cannot go to sleep because I hear this voice, come home, come home. I wake up frightened thinking it was just a dream, but again, when I settle I hear, come home, come home. I start shivering, start crying, try to close my ears and go to sleep again, but the words, come home, repeat in my mind over and over again. Once I do fall asleep, I go into a deep dream where I'm playing, having fun, my clothes ripped and dirty, and then somebody very familiar tells me to come back, come home. I say I will come back, I will come home, I'll come to find my peace again, but only with a new dream, a new hope, a new passion, in a new world. When I went back home in 2007 for a visit, the roads were pretty bad. In 2007, I was in grade 11. It was a good thing for me that I went back home, because I sort of knew at that time that I wanted to become a civil engineer, because I want to build these roads properly, or these houses. I learned a lot. I was inspired. I want to help out, hopefully.